Hey guys, Josh with Carl's Mower and Saw here, and today we're going to take kind of first quick peek at the STIHL RM 655 VS 21-inch walk-behind mower. It is not brand new. It's been actually in the US early 2024, but it is not new to STIHL. It's been something that's been in the European market for years. And with the exit of one of the major players in walk-behind mowers in the US market, STIHL saw this as a great opportunity for them to come in and introduce their mower. So today, we're gonna take a quick peek at the mower and see what we think about it. I have yet to mow with it. I've started it up, I've driven it, I've engaged the blades, but I've not mowed with it. But I wanna look today at some of the specs, some of the things that are unique, some of the things I think I'll like, and some of the things that my initial knee-jerk reaction says, what is going on with the Europeans? I love you guys, but there's some weird stuff that we're not used to over here. So starting out with this 21-inch mower, it's unique in its handle design. Something that we don't see here on this side of the pond in the US is a mono-pole handle design. So instead of having two bars coming up, we've got a single one. And STIHL says the reason behind it is when you go to take off the bag, it is very easy to get in and move it in and out. I like it. It makes sense. And in all honesty, I don't believe it's going to cause any problem. They have designed this super strong. It's a large diameter aluminum that I think is plenty strong. Time will tell, but honestly, not bad. But from the outsider looking in, I'm like, what? The next thing that I find unique is the fact that we have a plastic or polymer, I shouldn't use the word plastic, bagger on it. And who am I to really complain about plastics? I've been selling the #1 brand of lawnmower in the US for years, has had a neck sight mower deck. So, you know, this is probably all right. It just seems odd to me that this is what you'd have. I'm used to kicking the bag to see if it's full. I'm used to kind of watching the airflow to see if it's working. STIHL has built in a little indicator here that shows if the bag is full or not, or if the airflow has been shut off. So I think that'll be all right. And then the last thing that I'm challenged with is that my front lever right here is the drive. That's what makes it go. We are so used to pulling the back lever to make it drive. We're used to the front being blades and the back being drive. And what we have here is completely opposite. So there will be a little bit of a learning curve as we come into that. All right, now let's get into it. Let's look at some of the things we got going on. We have a beautiful 21-inch cast aluminum deck. Holy cow, this is heavy. This is strong. This is an awesome deck. We love it. Thank you very much. We're powered by a Kohler engine. Kohler has been making engines for walk-behind mowers for years and years, and they are a reliable, durable engine, easy to get parts for, easy for a shop to service, or even a homeowner to service when it comes to air filter and spark plug and oil changes. We have larger wheels on the rear. I'm looking at this thinking this is probably a 9-inch. I didn't read the specs on it, and an 8-inch, so a little larger rear wheels, which should make it easier to maneuver, being able to handle some rough terrain. Looking at this deck, this 21-inch aluminum deck, it has a cutting range of just under an inch, 0.98 inches, all the way up to about 3.5 inches. So a good range of height, and it's very easy to do. I have this little lever right here, and I simply lift up, drop it down. Lift up, drop it down. So very cool to move that up and down. I like that. Moving around this bag, very easy on and off. This polymer bag should keep the dust at bay. It does come with a mulch plug and the bag, or like is common on a lot of mowers today, I can rear discharge. If I leave this down, it's going to shoot the material right down at my feet. Let's take a look at this mono handle real quick. I have a quick lever that I can fold it all the way up for storage or servicing, flipping it up on its back, or I can find my preferred height of operator. So I've got, looks like 4 options for how tall I am to make it work. On the drive, it is a variable speed drive, variable speed from 0, obviously, all the way up to just under 3 miles per hour. So a pretty big range of motion. If you're a commercial operator, 3 miles per hour is going to seem a little slow. Usually you guys like your mowers going 4, but 3 for most homeowners in a lot of applications is the right speed and is going to give a beautiful quality cut. This model also has STIHL's clutch built into it. So when I start this unit up, which I'll do in a little bit, I pull this up and I pull this lever right here back and I engage the blade. So it has a blade clutch, which awesome. If you've never had a blade clutch, oh my goodness, you will love it. So cool. Let's flip it up. Let's take a look at the bottom side of the deck. If I'm flipping a mower over, that is the way to flip it. Always the muffler down, keeping that air filter up. We're gonna grab this here, get a look at the bottom side. We got a nice, looks like a very heavy duty transmission. Aluminum housing, nothing plastic there. You see the metal holders for the axle. Look at that blade, it's a nice high lift blade. Everything is enclosed and clean underneath. STIHL has shear pins built into their blade. It's designed to save the crankshaft. Anybody hit something hard and bent a crankshaft? I'll raise my hand, sorry about that, but I'm sure a few of us have over the years, and it's a costly repair. So STIHL's built in kind of a fail-safe that should reduce the likelihood of that happening. Now, I'm not going to go hit a big rock intentionally and test it. A good high lift blade with some slits in it that should help reduce the power needed and reduce the suction of the sand and the dirt up. But a very nice looking deck. I like the way it starts out shallow over here, and then the depth increases as we get nearer to the discharge chute. Let's flip it back up and let's take a peek at it. I think we'll fire it up. So I'm gonna go ahead, flip it up. I'm gonna put the bag on. So again, this mono handle allows me to come in, open the door very easily, and beautiful hooks for this bag to go on. I mean, they're massive. There are a lot of mowers that it's a pain in the butt to get that bag to line up, but this STIHL, that's easy. Pull it up, and we're running. All right, before I look like a fool, this is my drive. So I'm gonna pull, and it's gonna go. This is my blades. So what I do is I hold this up, then usually with a clutch model, I actually lift the front end up, pull back on this, we have blades on, and let's go. My lawn has not looked this bad in a long time. We recently did a little bit of planting, filling in some low spots, so I've been ignoring it a little bit. So let's get a little bit more speed. We look like we're about half right now, and it can shift on the fly. Okay, so naturally, I'm used to holding this lever and wanting to release this when I get to the end. But I got to release the front, turn, and back at it. I'm going to start mowing a little bit. I'm going to set that height a little bit lower because I need to cut a little bit more grass off. And it will give kind of a first impressions of first mow. Okay, blades on. I'd like to see what these RPMs are at. It seems to be mowing fine, but boy, is it nice and quiet. So I don't know, is it because the RPMs are low? Or is it the design of the bag, the mower deck, everything about it that's allowing that to happen? All right, I'm coming up on the end here. Remember, front bail, let off, stops driving. Those are not very straight stripes. You know, I think I will get used to this transmission engagement. So this is full speed throttle and full speed ground. I'm used to walking a little bit faster. Maybe if I was cutting a little bit more grass, I'd be happy with this speed, but I'd love to go a little faster. The handle is easy to, it just runs right on the handle. The engagement is smooth of the drive. I am dropped all the way down on cutting height. So right now I am mowing right about at an inch. We normally mow this around 3/4 or actually more in the 0.65 inches is what we're normally at. So the wheels are very nice. The back wheels have good bar lugs on them, so traction should be good. And they're designed in a way that appear that they won't have any buildup of grass. I don't know if you can see, but I have water squirting out from underneath me. Pretty wet. I have to turn down my sprinkler time. And then the front wheels are ribbed. Really not a lot of traction on them. I'm guessing the thought behind these straight lines or the ribs are really help the machine track straight. But I have no idea. That's just a thought, a theory. I'm not used to mowing with the 21-inch rotary. If you guys have watched me mow this lawn before, I always mow with a reel mower. It's a 25-inch, so it just is feeling off a little bit. All right, let's call it a test. So first off, I was not cutting a ton of grass, so really tough to say, but I was cutting really wet grass. And let's take the bag off. Let me go ahead and kill the motor. Motor off, lift this, bag up, bag off. Yeah, I really wasn't bagging a lot of grass. So easy life. Bag has a long ways to go to be filled. You know, one interesting thing to see would be how much debris is built up underneath, right? We're mowing really wet stuff. What's it look like underneath? And I'm impressed. There's really, there's not much at all. So good airflow characteristics under that deck. I think I can get used to the transmission. I can get used to the bag. We'll see how ultimately how long this holds up. I think it'll be fine. It all depends on how I treat it, right? And this mono handle, that was pretty nice for putting it on. So the STIHL RM 655 VS, is this the next mower for your garage? The world is changing on lawnmowers. We have gas manufacturers stepping out of the market. We have battery manufacturers stepping into the market. But I'll tell you, we're not there yet on the battery. We do not have enough vacuum suction performance. So if you're looking to have a well-kept lawn, ultimately, I think we're gonna still need to be in this gas world. And the STIHL RM series, take a peek at your local STIHL dealer. We look forward to seeing you soon at Carl's Mower and Saw.